Hi everybody, it's Lace here, and today we're going to talk about different modes of travel and my lovely bunch of coconuts. We'll get to that reference a little bit later. I want to start off with just some basics, and this may be remedial for some folks, but again, using your WSAD keys, you can move around. I like to use my W key and then use my mouse right depressed to, get my movement that way. You can also hit left and right key at the same time and move your mouse around to move that way. Some people prefer that. That kind of cramps my hand, but to each their own. Additionally, I can type \walk, and now when I move, I am moving at a slow pace. A lot of role players use this for different things instead of just bouncing around and stuff. To get out of it, I can do \run, and I'm back to my normal speed. In addition to that, I can hit the \/ key on my numpad, and now I'm in a walk. I hit my \/ key in my numpad again, and I'm back to my normal little semi-jog there. There have been some questions about horses, and it was a stretch goal that was not met. Therefore, that was not a priority to put into episode 1. We may see it down the line as some kind of monetized thing. It may come in for free in later episodes. That's going to be up to the devs. So there are no horses. So when you need to run around the overland map, well, you're going to have to run around the overland map. Alternatively, we used to be able to do \zone space and then the player name and teleport right to them right at that exact spot. Like if I was standing right here and somebody zoned to me, they would come on top of me. This has been, that was kind of a hack. That was kind of a dev thing. It's been replaced with teleport scrolls and recall scrolls. If you don't know how to make a teleport or a recall scroll, you can just type in teleport here at sodawiki.net. I'm typing in teleport, and it brings up the matches, and then I can click into teleport scroll, and there's my recipe. I'm going to need 5 wood pulp, 10 mandrake root, 10 black pearls, wood pulp again. How do I make that? Well, here's what I need to make that. I can do the same thing with the recall scroll, and I can drill in and get the recipe this way. And again, how do I make wood pulp and where do I make it and things like that. So now once you have those scrolls and you've crafted them, you're going to need to take and drag them from your inventory onto your non-combat hotbar. That's the one that's up all the time when you're, not in combat. Non-combat hotbar. Yeah, that was kind of silly to say, but hey. Anyway, these work off, the teleport to friend work off your friends list. Your friends list you can bring up by hitting F. If you want to friend somebody, again, it's going to be \friend and then full name. If they have a space in there, you got to type in the second name. So it'd be like this. You would do that, friend, full name, second name. It's going to tell me it's not found. But if they were, somebody was named that, up here in their upper right, they're going to get a little confirmation box where when they click that, it's going to open their friends list and say that they have to accept it. It's two-way consent, so when you friend somebody, you can't travel to them until they say, yes, I'll be your friend. So keep that in mind. You can, again, your friends list is brought up with F, but if you click the actual teleport to friend, it brings up the choices of people that you can teleport to. You can also see that, like the ones that, like this one, this person here is grayed out. That's they're probably in single player, or they're in friends only or something possibly, and I can't teleport to them. But all these people I could teleport to. So I would just pick somebody, and I'd hit teleport, and I would end up going to their zone. It's not going to go right where they're standing. It's going to go to the entrance of the zone. So keep that in mind, and just keep in mind the two-way consent. So making friends is a very good thing. Recall scrolls, let's get into those. For recall scrolls, you can either use them from a lot that you have permissions to, or from your town criers in like any of the NPC cities. So I'm going to run up here to this lot that I do have permissions to, and it's either going to be the stone, depending on, the type of setting that it's in. Some of them have the little hanging wooden signs, but I'll just double click that. And under the private residence, I would hit bind to lot. If I do that and I'm anywhere on the overworld map, or if I'm in another town or wherever, when I use this scroll, which I'm not going to use right now, but just showing you, if I click that scroll, it's going to take me back to here and to my lot, specifically lot, not the zone in, but I actually get to go to my lot. The next one is going to be the town crier. So the town crier is like down here. So for this zone, so let me run down here real quick. Again, at NPC cities, you can bind to the town crier at those. They're going to be in different places. You'll just have to kind of learn where they're at. So let me get down here. Dun, 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 dun. So I don't want to spend a bunch of time loading my bank that's overly full, but when I double clicked him, this little dialog came up, and he says, I can bind you. You'll say bind, and I think you'll have to do a yes confirmation. Are you sure you would like to bind? And you say yes, and he will. Well, I don't really want to do this, so I'm going to say no. But that's how you would do it there. Very well. He got a little snippy with me, I think. But that way now if I want to come back to this zone, and again, this could be an NPC town, a player-owned town, whatever, I would now come back this way. So that's kind of how recall scrolls work. Next up, I want to talk about my lovely bunch of coconuts. This is a reference to a song Merv Griffin used to do. If you don't know who Merv Griffin is, well, he was a talk show host way back in the day, and he'd sing this song about his lovely bunch of coconuts. Basically, his lovely bunch of coconuts was a fake bra that he would have on. One of the newer emotes in the game is \juggle, and to me, this is me playing with my lovely bunch of coconuts. At least how I see it. I don't know. I don't have the coconuts equipped, but this is me with my lovely bunch of coconuts. So I just have to throw that joke in there. What I usually do is, and I will have another video on skills and group sets, is I'm going to hit Y to bring up my combat decks, and I have a deck called Coconuts, and I'm going to say equip. Okay. In my coconut deck, I have the Nightmare Mask on and Flaming Coconuts. You can see them right here, flaming left or right and flaming left. And then you see my, where's my head? There's my head. There's my Nightmare Mask. The Nightmare and the Flaming Coconuts were a reward from an earlier telethon, I believe it was. You can't get them, but if you see them, very cool. Also, you have the common coconut variety, which is just a coconut left and a coconut right. They could also go in here. You just won't have the really killer, awesome horse head. I mean, look at this thing. It's pretty awesome. I love this thing. Yeah. Okay, so what coconuts do for you is when you're running, they're going to give you a speed increase. So you're going to be running a little bit faster. Let's see if we can get a forward shot here. Look at me with my happy coconuts. I'll zoom out a little bit there. Look at me, my little flaming horsey head, my happy coconuts. Anybody that's a Monty Python fan, you can remember the scenes of them running around with their coconuts, and that's exactly what the animation is. we're running around with our coconuts. But again, the perk is that it's a fast travel. The downside to the coconuts, while they're equipped, you can't interact with anything. So if I want to interact with this thing here, it's not going to let me. I think it'll say a message here. You cannot interact while mounted. I am mounted apparently, even though I am the mount. But yeah, so I just get a kick out of running around with my flaming coconuts. Whee! This does work on the overland map, and I'll show you that here in a second, but I'm not going to run down here. Yeah, I love the coconuts. The regular coconuts don't flame, but again, this is the same animation. I believe this will take me out to the overland. Let's see. Nope. Okay, hold on. I'm going to pause the video and jump back in when we get to the overland. One moment. Okay, here I am on the overland map. I have my lovely bunch of coconuts equipped, my flaming coconuts, and now I can just travel along. Again, you can't interact with things, so like if I want to enter this city, Up, you can on the overland, but when you're going from, let's say, a player owned to go out while your coconuts are equipped, you have to unequip them, then click to go out. Looks like you from the overland in, you can do it, but not the other way around. So just keep that in mind, and I hope you get to have as much fun with your coconuts as I do. One thing I think I forgot to mention was prior to, I believe it was R30, it was numlock that you could hit to auto run. You would just hit numlock and auto run. They have remapped that key to the plus sign on your keyboard or on your number area of your keyboard. So again, that's plus to run, and just any movement back is going to stop that. So that's it for this tutorial, and happy hunting, be safe, and all that jazz.